welcome to day 3 of the live stream for The Cure. Scott, news on the shirts is Upstate Merch decided to ship them a week late for whatever reason, so they're not going to ship out until tomorrow, which is super useful. Like, most people domestically should have had them before the event, so I'm not at all very happy. Speaking of which, Daniel, hello. Daniel and I have not had a lot of sleep. so we are
please end me.
Please end Daniel. we are doing our best to make sure we can get through the rest of day 3, because we have a whole other day of amazing stuff. So let me tell you what we've still got yet to come. We're going to kind of touch on a little bit of stuff we did yesterday as well. But we still have Lisa and Sam. I Shake My Head is going to come in here. They were supposed to make it Friday, but unfortunately, technical issues couldn't get them in. The Kazoo Kid from You on Kazoo is confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. Brendan and Nathan from What Were They Thinking are going to be bringing the kid from You on Kazoo with them. That's a thing that's going to happen on the stream. You're welcome. Let's see. We have Star Wars 1999, The Phantom Menace. 20th birthday today. I'm so sad. I just did not, in the rush of everything, I just did not get the chance to download all the sound effects and stuff I wanted for Jar Jar, but we're going to find something at some point that we're going to play a little bit later in the stream.
Misa gonna ruin your childhood, Danny.
We have Spoop Hour coming up at 11 o'clock. Gerald Morris from 2Ps coming in at 11:30. Amazing and wonderful friend of the show, Emily Porkchop. Emily Prokop from The Story Behind will be here at noon. So Wizard is going to be here at 12:30. We've got a pre-recorded segment from Steve from the podcast at 1 o'clock. Rolling Misadventures is going to be in here from 1:30 to 2:30. A little bit of a break at the end of the stream, just kind of closing everything down, wrapping everything up. And then Lindsay Johnson is going to be joining us for the final half an hour of the event. And over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see our Perry and Lindsay slideshow. There he is, giving the finger to what he thinks of cancer treatment. But as we've mentioned numerous times throughout the event, but you all remember Perry and Lindsay closed out the event last year, and they were absolutely amazing. And it was only a few weeks after they'd been diagnosed with, or after Perry had been diagnosed with stage 4 esophageal cancer, and unfortunately passed away in January. Lindsay's been good enough to come back this year to wrap out the event, as we're doing it in Perry's name. And what a statement that is right there. What a statement. That total is $7,600, $7,620 to be exact. I've actually got a donation to add in there before we even really get going here. We got another one over on the Livestream for the Cure site from Nicole St. Pierre, who is a wonderful person. And that's going to bring our total up to like $7,650, just about. So, I can mute that. There we go. That'd be weird to hear myself talking over there. Let's see. So, yesterday, let's go through the just insane events of yesterday. Who we got over there? Schlee. Aw, don't ban Schlee. Welcome.
I'm tired of her shit already this morning.
Damn it. Welcome, Bubby. Scott LeVar, welcome. And, Kate from Ignorance Was Bliss, welcome. Drew Hallam, what a soldier Drew Hallam is. Been live with us literally every second that we've been on the air. Every single second Drew Hallam's been on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Epic Film Guys. He's been there. We love you, Drew. Thank you so much. And we're destroying his liver slowly but surely as we raise every $1,000 we hit. We're going to crush that liver, Drew. We're coming for it. But yeah, so yesterday, just to kind of run through what happened yesterday on the stream. After an amazing day 1. Day 1 was so great. And like yesterday was so full of amazing stuff. We have the top 5 of 2015 yesterday. That was a lot of fun.
I think what was interesting about the first day was like, oh, we're at 50%. I think we can do it. I think we can hit $7,500 last night, and hit it around 1,000 players. And was like, all right, we're almost there. Like we were like 95%, 96%, something like that. It's like, okay, we're not going to hit it, but we'll get there tomorrow. It'll be great. We can coast there. And all of a sudden, destruction in human form. You boy, Jared Taylor, decided, no, fuck that. We're making it tonight. So.
Destruction in human form, who I've got to do the tally of the donors that have donated throughout this event, but he has just been so incredibly generous on his own. And I know we've got a lot of people have been amazingly generous, and it's really, really wonderful. And we really, really appreciate it. Afterburn making almost $1,000, raising almost $1,000 just amongst their family and friends, people they know that have been affected by cancer, which was absolutely amazing. So there we go. I'm going to add Nicole's donation in to the total right now. I never thought I'd say I'm tired of hearing Ralph Wiggum. I love hearing it. I love hearing it because it means we're getting more money. But, man, I think I might change up the stream alert for some of the donation levels next year. It's something that I didn't do the last 2 years. And then as this year kind of came closer, I was like, maybe I should come up with a new sound effect for, like, if people donate, like, $25 or $50 or whatever. And then I just never did, so it's always that same one. Thoughts and Players, it took us like an extra half an hour to play Thoughts and Players yesterday because people kept donating to the event. Caleb was trying to go through it.
Not only that, he was trying to premiere the promo for the show, and everyone just fucking kept interrupting. Like, Interrupted Tales interrupted with a donation at least 5 times.
Alex kept interrupting the promo. Oh, my God.
I mean, I'll take completely shutting down an event just for the sake of cancer research money.
That is very, very true. So as you can see, the total there right below me on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, 76, 46, 30. That is what we've hit so far. We've got a full day. Well, not a full day. Today's half of the length of the other 2 days, thankfully. Once we hit 4 o'clock today, it is over. And this is, we kind of purposely designed the event this way because last year, I think it was like trying to finish a third day at like, what did we do? Like 12, 10 or something like that last year. I can't remember. But then we were also up playing Loot Quest until ass o'clock in the morning. So it was just utterly and completely ridiculous. But yep, yesterday we had Kate from Ignorance Was Bliss and Heather from Sunshine and Power Cuts joined her to talk about some amazing stuff. We had Team Almy in with Shit Happens When You Party Naked. Congratulations on the baby girl on the way. No Ordinary Nerd. Even though we couldn't get one of them in here. Who was it? Daniel. Yep. Daniel, unfortunately, we couldn't get connected, but we did still have Francis and Danielle, which was amazing. It was really, really fun. That is true. That is true.
All of that was muted. None of you heard that. It's fine.
Then we did a little horror movie trivia that Justin came up with. Justin, the human troll doll. I'm sure he'll be back on at some point today. I don't know what he's doing. We had 2 girls on a bench. Amazing. In here playing with puppets and kazoos and all sorts of fun stuff. I know I've got to touch base with a lot of people too after the event about prizes that people might have won during their segments, like things that other shows are giving away. I know we've got a lot of base to touch there, so that's going to be really, really fun. The Unwritable Rant, Juliet, Miranda, David the producer. That was absolutely wonderful. 2 truths and a lie. I knew I would be terrible at it, and I was.
You weren't very good at any game yesterday.
I was not. Brooke reading, although I did clinch the victory against the IMDb Journey podcast and Pavi Pod. Because, what was it? Whose was it? It was Tom Hanks. It was Tom Hanks' top grossing movie. And I was like, no, it's not going to be any of his live action stuff. It's going to be one of the Toy Story movies. And I'm like, Toy Story 3, bam, 3 points, victory, dunk. Love it. Chris Yaney, hashtag too sober. Well, get a Bloody Mary. Get to work, Yaney. What the hell? Chris Yaney, also a huge shout out to you. I know you've been a huge soldier over there on Twitch, literally the entire event as well. We really, really appreciate all the support, keeping that chat full, keeping us page 1 on talk shows and podcasts and everything like that, which is
I'm pretty sure he's
nice.
West Coast now too. So you and Drew, go do something else. We love you, but go do something else.
Get some
sleep
caffeine in you, boys. We had Melissa from Brook Reading and Sean from What Does It Matter? That was a really fun hour that they were on. Julio from The Contrarians and Alex, of course, were here to talk about Basic Instinct 2.
Nick's new favorite movie of all time.
My new favorite of all time. I love it. Mike, and Oscar were here to talk about their top 5 of 2019. I love those guys. Afterburn 739, again, who absolutely crushed it. I think it was just under $900 they raised alone between all their co-hosts, their families, their friends, and everything like that. And even as we were rolling into the Afterburn segment, we were at like 75% or somewhere around there. And then that's when, they made that huge donation, and that was what kind of, I think, propelled us toward the end. We did 80s movie quote trivia. Steve from Everything I Learned from the Movies came by, and we talked about just movies for a little bit, and then we played a little bit of stuff about interviews and stuff that they've done on the podcast, which is really, really nice. Podcast Robin James Hatton from the something can words. I've been talking
slow down.
2 days straight.
Just slow down. Take a deep breath.
We talked about pizza toppings. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the Velvet Drizzle. That was a lot of fun. I love Sean and I love his show. So just hearing him do it live was just wonderful.
I swear to God, he got like 15 new subs last night, just from last night alone. People were like, "Oh my God, I got to hear this guy!" Like, spam that guest link.
What happened is people. What? We might have gotten a lot of followers and subs and stuff, but a lot of ladies in the chat unsubscribed from their panties last night during the Velvet Drizzle segment. Not going to need them anymore.
Apparently, we have 35 hours to go, so God bless our bodies.
It's Streamlabs' fault, because when you go to Streamlabs, when you set the timer for the bar, you set it to end after. So I wanted it to end after May 19th, which is what I put in there. But then yesterday, I looked over at it. We were like mid-afternoon. I looked over at it, and it said 4 hours to go. Like mid-afternoon yesterday, I'm like, that's not correct.
Yeah, Ashley brought it up, and she's like, your counter's wrong. I was like, I legitimately just don't care. It doesn't matter.
The most important thing is that we've beaten the goal, and we're going to continue to exceed it. Let's see. So closing out the rest of yesterday, we had Rick and Sarah, Ice in the Face. I absolutely love them. We had to talk about people fucking things and farm-grown chicken nuggets and God, raw milk they were talking about. One Star Bazaar was here to talk about 1-star movies.
I need to do a collab with them, because we talked about a lot of shitty Netflix movies too at the very end.
That was a lot of fun, that segment. We had Super Movie Brother Dave dropped by, and we did that nice, amazing, you want to get nuts coffee cocktail. Really good. I liked the taste of it. I just wish we had had cold coffee. I just don't think we cared or even thought about it.
It was coffee. That's what mattered. That's actually, I think, what kept me up till 2.
Yeah.
Through Thoughts and Players.
Like, we just did not care yesterday. But I wish we would have had cold coffee to make it, because it would have probably tasted better, because it wouldn't have melted all the ice so quick and watered it down. But nonetheless, still really nice. Thank you, Dave, for stopping by. The IMDb journey was amazing. Amazing. Dan and Dean. And like I said, I clinched the victory. Tom Hanks, Toy Story 3.
Now, that's an abbreviated Pod v Pod. I do want to say that.
We did sneak in a ringer, though. We did sneak in the god of podcasting as a ringer, just because he was there with Justin. And I mean, is it fair if you're participating in an event to have the god of podcasting on your side? I don't know if it counts.
I mean, he did know like a shit ton of Oscar movies and stuff.
That is
so
true. That is really true. And we got to do Caleb, inspired by Honey Heist, came up with his own neat little spin on it. We did Thoughts and Players yesterday, myself, Dan, and Bill. and he premiered the promo. I'm actually going to play that promo right now for the morning as well.
Get ready to interrupt this, everybody.
Yeah, make sure you
shoot your donations over now. Interrupt this promo.
Yeah, I'm going to play this again just because I love the promo. I think it's great because he uses literally the perfect quote to sum up thoughts and players. Here we go.
The world is dying. The land withers. The sea boils. And the fate of everyone is in the hands of 3 ding-dongs.
Well, there's an old saying at my monastery. A 1 in the bird is worth 2 in the bush.
Thoughts and Players is a new actual play RPG podcast from the minds behind Netflix and Swill, Epic Film Guys, and others. Game of Thrones ended, so let us fill the void in your life.
Oh my god. My god. Thoughts and Players is so much fun. I can't wait to, now that Caleb's wedding is over, now that Livestream for the Cure is over and everything, I can't wait to actually get sitting down and do some more, because we haven't recorded like the whole group of us for Thoughts and Players in quite a while, so it'll be nice to sit back down and record for it.
I'm glad we now have audio proof of how stupid Bill is.
Hey, those other episodes of Thoughts and Players are still out there. People can still listen to those. Let's see, I think we need, I'm going to find one thing here, like really quick. Man. Oh my god. This is literally exactly what I wanted. Here we go. To kind of kick things off and to shift us into next gear. So like I said, we talked about what was yesterday. We talked about what we've got yet to come today. Everything that we make from this point on is gravy. But remember, all donations, ladies and gentlemen, all donations are still getting doubled by the Cancer Research Institute as well. And I have not tallied up the total. We haven't quite crossed 15,000 yet. And I know a lot of it is going to be once they take their fees, once Streamlabs, not Streamlabs, but because you have unfortunately, payments just have to be processed. Credit card vendors charge money to process payments, I should say. So, the payments, if you look at like the most recent payment from Nicole was $26.20, but that's $25. And then $120 of it will go toward the fees. So it'll shake down differently in the end in terms of everything. But I mean, when you still look at it, we're still hardcore approaching $15,000 doubled for the Cancer Research Institute, which is absolutely amazing. Like I said, when I talked to Sierra, the kind of event coordinator person for CRI, she told us last year's Livestream for the Cure was their second highest fundraising event in that category. I don't know where we ranked in terms of Cancer Research Institute overall, but we were number 2. We were number 2 in the category that we were in. I can't remember what the category was either, but we were number 2.
Unfortunately, I don't have a soundboard or something I can put sound through, but I would like to just say this year we are probably number 1, or we are number 1. Hey,
he'll be here all day, ladies and gentlemen.
I know you guys are gonna. This is me on no sleep, so good luck, everybody.
God bless.
Hi, Bubby. You're gonna be sitting in the appear now. You're gonna be joining us for Star Wars Episode 1, the Phantom Menace retrospective.
Why would I ban Bubby? I love you, Bubby. I would never ban you.
Yep.
Oh my God in heaven.
We're changing that, Bubby. You're gonna watch the special HD versions with all the touched up CGI and 4 hours of deleted scenes of Jar Jar Binks bomping around.
I thought you said you loved Ashley.
No.
All right. 8 a.m. might have been rough. Might have been a rough call after being up until like 2:30 playing frickin' Thousand Players, which granted would not have taken as long if, some asshole didn't have to make blowing noises every time he talked.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say.
And people kept donating too. Like people kept donating every time we tried to play the goal total and everything like that. People just kept donating. And then people would donate money and they wouldn't donate it in a round amount. And then Jared would be like, no more coins, only money you can fold. And he'd donate to round it off. And that would just keep exacerbating it.
See, here's the problem. You can totally fold coins. It's just, it requires much, much more effort.
It's way harder. It is way harder. Just Jared, come on, fold a coin, bro. Fold a coin. But yeah, so
the best part about that is that scenario is definitely like 30 minutes long, period. Like the full stop. It's a 30-minute long fucking scenario.
Yeah.
But like it dragged on for 1.5 hours for two reasons. One, donations all over the place. And two, we would just not stop getting distracted by stupid fucking references we had to make for no reason.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Give your balls a tug, tit fucker.
Hey, Bill. I will give it to Bill. Best moment of the game, best like actual character moment of the game was when he was like, "I want to open a portal to the future and bring an Eric Hoekra back, and then we bring Seamus in, and he punches the guy in the chest."
Oh, yeah, guy.
That's going to happen now during one of our sessions, like 6 months from now, we're going to be playing. And all of a sudden, Bill's just going to vanish into some vortex in the middle of a battle, and we're going to just look at each other and be like, oh, shit.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
My God.
You're a sea hair away from getting sea sucking socked, good buddy.
There you go. We also, endlessly just Letterkenny references over and over and over again.
My character is named Squirrely Dan, and I added random S's to random words and sentences.
I think that's a reference to Letterkenny. I'm not sure.
I think Montreal Steak Spice should definitely be a part of this conversations.
Where's the salt and pepper, bud?
Don't you fuck up my steak dinner, Nick.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we still have, like I said, today's going to be a shorter day, mercifully. Pitter patter. Man. Good thing about this early, no lines at Starbucks. It is 5:30 on the West Coast. Drew, you are a soldier, and we love you. Thank you so much for just tuning in. We're going to raise a lot more money today. And you know what I also realized, Dan, in thinking about it, because Upstate merch completely fucking spaced on the whole shirt thing, I don't know how many shirts were ordered still, and we haven't gotten paid for the shirts yet, which means there's still $7.50 from every single shirt sale that's going to go into that total as well before all is said and done.
I bought one. Today, I know Bubby Schlee bought one. I definitely want to say Scott LeVar bought one. I want to say
5.
I want to say about 10.
I'd say between 20 and 30.
You think so?
I bought 5.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I bought 5 to give away
who
prizes,
out there in Chatland bought a shirt? Give us a hi, give us a I bought a shirt, give us a hey, fuck Upstate merch for not shipping until tomorrow.
Yeah, I am super annoyed by that. Super annoyed.
That's because I answer for you because men control your body now, Bubby.
It is true. Yep, Christiane did. Yeah, like I said, I bought 5. I mean, the Sauce bought one. Justin bought one. So I'm not sure exactly how many shirts were sold. Like I said, I would say 20 is the low number, probably. It won't even be like 15 or 16.
That's
who
pretty
knows?
Impressive.
But even still, you're looking, if it's, say, 20, that's $150.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're still looking at a relatively probably okay amount that's going to be donated in there. I've already donated our May Patreon, for charity. I've already done that. I've already donated the Redbubble stuff. We only sold a few mugs. I know Heather bought one. I know Alan from Interrupted Tales bought one.
I just wanted that to sink in for everybody. Redbubble shipped out their shit before Upstate merch did.
Well, that's because Redbubble's, piecemealed too. And that's kind of the problem. I wanted to go with a local place. I hate Redbubble. I legitimately hate Redbubble. I think their shit is way overpriced. Ridiculously overpriced. Mm-hmm. And I really, really, really hate like dealing with their shit. And it's like, there's no good solution. We still haven't found a good solution for shirts. Next year, I think it's back to the drawing board. This really, really soured me on that whole thing. Like, you know, I know they know Justin, and I know Justin knows them, and whatever. But, like, for real, like, you know that the event is May 17th through the 19th. You know. So your plan is, when you were originally planning on having the shirts printed and shipped on the 13th, is to be like, nah, let's wait a week. Let's wait until after the event's over. Like, imagine the alternate dimension right now where the live stream for The Cure this year was a dismal failure. And then a whole bunch of people are going to get shirts in the mail like later that week and be like, oh, good. Hooray.
I remember this bad event.
You know, just like it just. Like I said, back to the drawing board next year. I would think I would love, like, if I just don't have any money, like, ever. So I would love to just be able to buy like 50 shirts, like just bulk order like a ton of shirts and just give them all away myself or just sell them all myself. You know, I would love to do that, like to be able to bulk order and shit. It's just also like different things I want to try to do next year. Like those wristbands, I really think are a good idea. I would love to do those. I need to get those like out the gate, like 4 months, 5 months ahead though. Those need to really be out there way early. So, but yeah, the shirt money's still coming. We've still got other people that are going to be donating throughout the day. I know Daniel and Dean tried to donate last night. It wouldn't go through. So
yeah, I saw them messing with a credit card. That's surprising. I don't know what's going on there.
I've heard a lot of people saying that for whatever reason, the PayPal link is slow going. For some reason, sometimes it's just not working well. I don't know if that's like an individual thing, if there's some kind of specific thing that's preventing that. I mean, obviously we made it rain dono-wise, both on the main page and here. So the donations have gone through for a lot of people. I just don't know why some of them never made their way through. But nonetheless, sorry about all the weird noises. This is what happens when you haven't slept for like 2 days. And your body's just like, dude, what are you doing? So.
What is your quest? To fund cancer research. What is your favorite color? Blue. No, red. Ah, I'm dead now.
Aw. Let's see. What do I got in here? Do I have anything good and fun in here?
Nick, if I don't talk about Phantom Menace, I'm going to kill you. I should not have watched the VHS version of this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
If I don't talk about Phantom Menace with all the notes I took, because the Phantom Menace I took the most notes on. I want to talk about this movie. We're talking about this movie.
Why did you take so many notes about the Phantom Menace?
Because I wanted to actively participate in the Phantom Menace.
It's
discussion.
The Phantom Menace.
I hate you. Gerald's upset with me for watching the Phantom Menace on VHS.
Gerald. Everyone should own the Phantom Menace in all of its iterations. The VHS, the original DVD, and the Blu-ray, which is the one that includes the brand new, like, you know, Yoda footage and stuff. Like, they replaced the, Gerald, I will drive.
That's
down
not even
That's
not even a real statement you just made. That's not fucking possible.
Gerald, is Gerald drunk? Are you delirious from not getting no sleep because of the baby, Gerald? Is that what's happening right now? I feel like that's what's happening right now.
Let me explain to you the things that the Phantom Menace has that BVS doesn't have. Jar Jar Binks. That's it. That's all I had to say. That should tell you right there.
But I will always contend, however, and stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up in like 20 minutes or so, Star Wars trivia, which is going to be really, really fun.
I can't wait to fail at that too.
That's some of it's super easy, some of it's super hard. Bloody Marys and EFG and Dan, yeah. But yeah, the worst thing by far to me, and I will contend, I've always contended this, that Jar Jar is not the worst thing about the Phantom Menace. The problem is the Phantom Menace just way overindulges in Jar Jar. You leave him on Naboo when they leave, which is at the end of the first act, and then he's gone from the rest of the movie until the very end when they come back. And don't make him a general. Like, that's dumb. That's really, really dumb.
Oh, it's a General Jar Jar. I have offensive voice too because the reasons.
Yeah, those are the worst parts of this whole thing. Those are the worst parts of the Phantom Menace. It's the fact that every character is an extremely racist stereotype. You have the Nemoidians, the aliens at the beginning for the Trade Federation that are clearly Asian stereotypes. You have Watto the junk dealer who is clearly a Jewish stereotype.
Oh, come on. You don't like a Watto?
Like, I'm a totalitarian. My tricks don't work on me. Only money. You know, like, it's, you know, you have those aspects. And like I said, I think Jar Jar, I think if you cut out all of the scenes of him, like some of the scenes of him on Naboo are annoying, but the most annoying stuff with Jar Jar is like once they get off world and they're like in Tatooine and he's stepping in poop and all that different stuff. Like,
that's the thing is like he's a plot device at the beginning of the movie to get them to the Gungan city, but then like they could have just left him at the fucking Gungan
but
city.
Then you leave him as a plot device. You don't pick him up and be like, oh, you're a major character.
Yeah,
now.
if you leave him at the Gungan city to be dealt with or whatever, okay, cool, good, yeah. But then they took him with them.
Yeah. See, that was the problem is you take a plot device character that's just meant to move you from one place to the other in the plot, and then you decide to make a main character out of him. And like I said, once he leaves Naboo, that's his worst stuff. If they just leave him on Naboo, and then you see him when they come back, he's just fighting to save the Gungans along with the other Gungans. And, oh, I remember that character from the beginning of the movie. And then you laugh at him doing like one dumb thing. That's it. He gets one dumb thing, like one dumb scene. Not becoming the general, not getting a droid stuck to his foot and then falling over, and then the droid that's stuck to his foot shoots other droids and kills them.
I would argue that's the scene you keep. That's the sequence you keep from that battle.
I mean, they're all ridiculous, but the worst part by far, absolutely the worst part of the Phantom Menace is fucking Kid Anakin. Not even the fact that Kid Anakin's in the film. Like, I actually don't hate, like, some of his line delivery is god awful.
Jake Lloyd is in Jingle All the Way, which for anyone who knows about that movie, way ahead of his time. But regardless, I contend that Anakin went to the dark side because he didn't get his Turbo Man action figure. You know, he thought Arnold being his father and being Turbo Man at the same time was good enough. Turns out, no, he needed that Turbo Man action figure doll.
Well, like, you keep the droid cart because he Mr. Magoo's himself for humor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But see, I think like some of his line delivery is terrible, but some of everybody's line delivery is terrible in this movie because of Lucas's dialogue. Like, Lucas's script is just not good dialogue.
Written and directed by George Lucas. Think about that.
It's just like, I mean, and seriously, like, people will argue with me until the cows come home, but I mean, this kind of dialogue is the same kind of dialogue that we got in the original Star Wars. Like, a lot of it is so clunky. It's why Harrison Ford said, you can write this shit, George, but you can't read it. You know, because it's just fucking like too many words, gobbledygook. Like, he can't write. He's not a good dialogue writer. He's just not. And that's why the scripts where he only wrote the story, where other people came in and cleaned up dialogue and stuff, much, much better. Probably Drew. But it's probably been a long time.
No, I haven't. Star Wars really isn't my thing.
But like I said, I think the worst part, it's not even the fact that Kid Anakin's in the movie. I don't even have a problem with that.
I think he needs to be. So, like, that's not even the problem.
And I like, if you look back at the Star Wars prequels, I like the fact that most Jedi are taken when they're babies because, I mean, you want to indoctrinate them early. You know, you don't want them being out in the world and being a thinking, feeling person for themselves before they become a Jedi. You got to indoctrinate them into your cult early. And
it's true.
You know, Anakin's already older, like, and he's ripped away from his mother, the one person that he loves, who then later is killed, and he's not there to save her. So obviously he's going to carry a huge amount of guilt around with him because of that. I really like the way Lucas constructs his fall for the most part. I really like it, and it really begins the fear in their eyes as he explains the movie during the early stages. But the problem is, again, as in other characters, Kid Anakin, as important as he is to Star Wars as a whole, and I know it's the beginning of the Skywalker saga and all that shit, but as important as that character is, he should have stayed on Coruscant. When they left to go back to Naboo, Kid Anakin never should have gone with them. Those are, I think, two things. If you change those two things about this movie, if you leave Jar Jar on Naboo, when they leave to get away from the Trade Federation, if he stays there to stay with his people and help them, and then you see him like one time, he's not a general, you just see him like one time when he comes back, and if you leave Kid Anakin on Coruscant, and then you just don't get any of the worst part of this movie, and I think when we did our worst Star Wars scenes ever back way early in the Epic Film Guys run, when we did our worst ever Star Wars scenes, Anakin blowing up the droid control ship is probably my worst ever Star Wars scene of all time, because they can't shoot through this force field at all. They can't get through it. It's too strong for their blasters. They even make a line of dialogue about it, how they can't get through it. They can't do anything about it. And then Anakin randomly, you can't shoot a laser blast through it, but you can fly a ship through it for no reason. He flies into the hangar of the ship, accidentally blows it up, and still manages to escape. It's so fucking stupid. So stupid.
Well, they do it on purpose. They try to make it like, because eventually, I believe in the sequels to The Phantom Menace, they bring up that he's an ace starfighter pilot. But like, you had the pod race scene for that, which I think is the best sequence of the movie outside of the duel between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan. Yep. The problem with the duel is that it's broken up by the Naboo stuff and the space stuff. Like, those are both fine things to have, but like the fact, like, and I get it, that's what you want to do. Like, you like thematically, they all hit like this same like down note climax where like, okay, Qui-Gon gets stabbed, Padme and her group are captured, and all hope looks lost for everybody in the space battle. So like, it's like a Cloud Atlassian thing where everything like syncs up timeline wise, and then it moves past.
Yeah, I don't think, like, there's a lot of different stuff that a lot of people would probably change about the movie. A lot of people are like, oh, I hate Jar Jar entirely, and oh, I this, and oh, I that. But like I said, I think those two things, I think you take out those two things, it's still a flawed movie. It's still got Lucas's dialogue, for sure. It's still got really racist stereotype characters, for sure. But it's a much better movie if you excise all the Jar Jar stuff from the Tatooine sequence. When you meet Anakin and you get to do the pod racing and all that stuff.
Sound design in pod racing is amazing. Every single pod sounds different. It's great.
The pod racing sequence was created for one purpose and one purpose only, to make sure that Industrial Light and Magic had plenty of work for the next couple of decades, because that's pretty much what it was. It was like an FX demo reel. But it was amazing, and it's really fun. And even though it takes up a big chunk of the second act of the movie, 20
minutes or so,
but it's still an excellent sequence, even if it stretches out. It's got a lot of great pieces to it. It's just it makes really fatal missteps. And like I said, you solve those two problems. Jar Jar stays behind on Naboo. You see him once when they go back, and Kid Anakin, he's the whole second act of the movie. Like, we meet him, we take him to the Jedi. Oh, we can't train him, whatever. And then you leave him on Coruscant and you go back to the beginning of the movie to resolve everything. You go back to the plot from the beginning of the movie to resolve everything. It doesn't solve all of this movie's problems, but I think it removes two of the most terrible aspects of it, because it's characters overstaying their welcome in The Phantom Menace that really kills it for me. That's the worst part of the film for me by far.
Well, and I'm not the Star Wars fan that everybody else is, but like I find the fan service towards minor characters to the story of Phantom Menace, like your R2-D2s, your Emperor Palpatines, your C-3POs, like there's just too much time devoted on these characters that are going to become important later. And I get it. You're trying to be like, hey, remember Emperor Palpatine? Remember the C-3PO? Here, now see how they became important characters in the universe. Like, okay, I get it, but like, you have 2 more movies to also do that. You don't have to like waste time on them.
Yeah, see, like, I think R2-D2's still in the movie, but you don't spotlight him. He doesn't deserve a special scene where he saves the ship.
Right. Well, no, you can still have him save the ship, but like, don't be like, this droid should be commended by whoever Padme's fucking person is.
What's its
one of
call
the
sign?
worst delivery fucking I've ever heard.
What is
my
its
God.
call sign? R2-D2. Like, yeah, that C-3PO excised from the movie entirely because it's
Useless.
ridiculously stupid that
Totally
Anakin
useless.
builds him. That whole plot point is ridiculously stupid anyway. And Palpatine, I love Ian McDiarmid. I will put more Ian McDiarmid in any Star Wars movie if I can. So,
I think he had an appropriate amount of screen
Plus
time until the very end, where it's like the Sith and the apprentice. But which one did we kill? And it pans over to Ian McDiarmid, like, "Hi, yeah, we know already."
yeah, the super obvious foreshadowing. Yeah, but I love like the entire point of the prequels is the ascent of Palpatine to becoming the Emperor, and the dissolution of the Republic and the fall of Anakin Skywalker. That's like the whole point of the prequels. So I think in that aspect they nailed it. But yeah, excise C-3PO entirely. Like legitimately, don't even put him in the movie.
Worthless. You save about 3-4 minutes on the movie runtime too.
He shouldn't be in a Star Wars movie probably until sometime in Episode 3, like maybe on Coruscant or something, or maybe even in Episode 2 if you want to put him in Episode 2, like when Padme becomes a senator in Episode 2, she gets assigned a protocol droid, like, to assist her with whatever, and that's when you introduce C-3PO. He's introduced in that movie.
Or you do what Anakin's building him for his mother. Maybe instead, like, he uses money and he sends back a service droid to Tatooine.
Yep.
Star Wars fan over here. But yeah, you have him send the service droid back to Tatooine so his mom isn't lonely. And
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. Other things.
The last thing that this movie should have is a child building a fully functioning protocol droid, because we get it, Anakin's special, but it's all space magic stuff. Like, you don't need to. Phantom Menace is a better film than Endgame. There, I said it. If Endgame, and I talked about this yesterday with Mike, and Oscar, you cut a half an hour out of the first act of Endgame. Endgame's like a 10 out of 10. Endgame would be, like, even the flaws that it has, it would be great. But the first act of that movie, they spend so long in the first act of that movie moping, doing nothing, and showing shots of a post-apocalyptic world. Oh my God, it's so desolate, even though, there's still 4 billion people on the planet. Like,
we're talking about Star Wars here, the 20th anniversary of the Phantom Menace release.
Chris Yaney got me off on a tangent, but
Drew is right. Sends him back, then takes him back once his mom dies. Absolutely, 100%. That is exactly what you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first donation of the day from Gerald, $10, $1 for every Bloody Mary I am having this morning. Cheers, guys. See you in a few hours. Yes, Gerald, we're super, super excited to see you in a few hours. Thank you very, very much for your donation. But yeah, so that's, I mean, I really don't have anything else to say.
I do.
I still say you excise C-3PO from the film entirely. He doesn't need to be in it, and Anakin doesn't need to build him whatsoever. He can just be, and that's the problem when you do stuff like that, is you make the universe too small. Like, Anakin builds 3PO instead of 3PO just legitimately being like one of the other million protocol droids in the universe who just randomly is in the movie. Like I said, if you wait until Episode 2 or you wait until Episode 3, like, maybe when Padme becomes pregnant, here's a protocol droid to assist you, Senator, because you need the extra help. And then, it's C-3PO is my name, la 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 la. Like, that's the first time you meet him. Like, that should be fine, So
I do want to bring up real quick.
I'll let you have it.
The very beginning of the movie, Jedi being sent to settle a trade dispute. I think I get what they're trying. I think I get what Lucas is trying to do. They're being like, Jedi are like quote unquote space police at this point for the Republic. Like, they're not like they try to
FBI?
pretend. They try to pretend they're this fucking holy order, but instead they're like low level grunts for Palpatine to just kind of like whip
one of my
around and do
favorite
whatever.
things that Lucas does with Jedi in the prequel films is he removes kind of some of that mystique and aura that we got of them from the original trilogy, because all it was is Obi-Wan's like, oh, the guardians of peace and justice for 1,000 generations. No, you weren't. You were a fucking bureaucratic organization.
Yeah.
Sean from SYY Podcast, The Velvet Drizzle, $20 donation. Endgame is the best movie of 2019. God damn it, Sean.
The boy who harnessed the wind is actually the answer.
But yeah, like that. I love that Lucas actually kind of removes some of that mystique and like shows that the Jedi were their ability, and we don't find that out until later in the prequels, but their ability to use the Force had been diminished, probably because Sidious was clouding it, but even still. And like they were an overstuffed, super bureaucratic organization. Like they just wholesale like kidnap infants and indoctrinate them into their thing. You know, one of the reasons why I love The Last Jedi so much is because it has Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, being like, yeah, like the Jedi should.
The Jedi weren't great.
The Jedi were a flawed idea, and you know that's why they fell, because you know Palpatine, even like when he gives Anakin the speech at the little opera house thing in Episode 3, you know it's the nail on the head. Like the Jedi only care about keeping their power as well. There's an element of truth to that, but yeah. I love that he removes some of that mystique.
That's all I have to say. It's I'd say 5 out of 10. I don't recommend this movie, but like, I still think it is important. I would love to see the Topher Grace cut of the entire trilogy.
Me too.
That would be very interesting to see, because it's a 90-minute movie or something like that. And he like wholesale cuts out like 90% of the Phantom Menace. Yeah. Or is it Attack of the Clones? One of the two.
No, it's Phantom Menace. Most people, is when whenever they do the fan cuts, they completely omit the Phantom Menace from everything, pretty much. But it is what it is.
Yeah, there's good parts, but I don't think you have to cut out everything.
Like I said, I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it just makes mistakes. It keeps characters around too long. It makes the universe too small. Like we've said, we've talked about all the different stuff. But as far as I know, the worst thing is Kid Anakin. They can't shoot through the force field, but you can fly a ship through it and blow it up from the inside. That makes so little sense. So little sense.
It's true.